Yeah, you better step into the light. Just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might...
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name's Narelle Warcon, and I'm coming to you today on Who, What, Where with a very special guest. And I'm coming in from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. Thank you so much for joining us. For those popping on, please pop in the chat where you're coming in from. For those joining us on social medias, on Facebook and also LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining us today. It is a wonderful pleasure to have an amazing guest. And sometimes we throw in these spontaneous lives because our guests are coming in from different parts of the world, particularly around here, Australia, New Zealand, and the surrounding islands. So it's different for, say New Zealand and where our gentleman's coming in from today, which is Samoa. They run on a different time zone to where I am. So it becomes too late at night for them to come on at another time. But we're excited that we can do this and we can bring on people who can share their stories out there to the world, because it is important. We like to scratch the surface and release the diamond within. And I think our guest tonight, this afternoon, wherever you're coming in from, is going to blow us away with his amazing story. So I want to introduce to you today Ueni Fonoti, and I got to get that right. Ueni is coming in from Somoa, and we are so honoured to have you here tonight, Ueni. Lovely to see you. I know that your wife may or may not be there right now, but hello to Florence, Flo, and also to your son. We welcome you here today. And we want to hear more about you, where you grew up, your family, and a little bit about that. And then I'll pop in from time to time and ask you a few questions as well. But like I said, if anybody's here, please pop where you're coming in from and say hello to our beautiful guest speaker tonight, Ueni. So go ahead, Ueni.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I would really like to thank you. This is a great privilege to meet you, Narelle, on this platform. So it is a great honor. And yes, for myself, my name is Ueni Fonoti. I am Samoan. We was born and raised here in Samoa in the 25th of May, 1961. So I'm actually 63 years old. Um, Sibling, yeah, I have three sisters and six brothers. So I am the second of those that 10. Yeah, and um, both of my parents passed away, and my dad passed away in 1988, and my mother just passed in 2022, not too long ago. So it's a quite a journey, but that's about myself at this point. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you, Winnie. It's really incredible, like I think, as you would know, because of your culture, there's a lot of like that family unity, within your culture. And when we lose our parents, even though your dad passed a long time ago, like mine, mum passed in 2013, but only losing your mum just recently, it tends to bring about a
Mm,
different level of stepping up to be, the elders, those people who have been around for so long. And I do, I suppose, honour that within certain cultures or those cultures close to Australia, New Zealand, all of the islands, because you do have a beautiful family. Everybody is family. So I do really love that about the islands and things like that. something I think we could all do with, finding out more about. So tell me a little bit about Samoa. Tell me a little bit about why, it is a place that you love, and would love others to come and visit. I see it's beautiful. So,
Yes, yes. I think Samoa is yeah, for me it is a beautiful place to be. Like I say, I was born and raised here, and the culture is really it play a huge part in our living every day in and day out. um, Especially like our parents. We listen to what they're saying, and we continue to grow up with that teaching, and that we learn from them. So even like if we're grown up and we married and have children ourselves, we are still listening to what they're saying. Yeah, it's a different than I ever seen since in my own journey in life.
yeah.
Yeah, and it play a huge part. So now, like for example, as I mentioned, my parents had passed on, so we continue to leave that legacy, as how much they adore the children, and how they want to raise the children to connect it to the culture. And so we are continue to that same teaching, and that's exactly what I'm doing today. Even though I'm just the only person now in Samoa, everybody is find himself overseas. But I'm still trying to see that, thinking about how my ancestors, special. Me and my mothers
Mm,
were very close, and
mm,
so everything I see that's what she always wanna take us to it. So and I follow that footstep, because we continue
yeah.
to make their legacy, to survive to all of our children and our grandchildren. Yes.
So Winnie, what does that look like? Can you explain that or expand on that a little bit more for our listeners? Because you're talking about a legacy. We know that it's a cultural type thing that's handed down from generation to generation. But can you expand on that a little bit more?
Yes, thank you. Yes. For example, I think you probably, I think it's also an encyclopedia. Samoan people is now, since the bringing of the Christianity, so it's about 90% of all Samoa is under the Christianity. That's
Mm,
their beliefs, and I think some are like our, maybe our grandparents, they during that time when they adopted the Christianity. So everything it fit into that culture. So it's always about respecting one another. You got to
mm,
live in harmony, and and basically that's what it is. You respect one another and love one another, and that's what they always wanna remember, of their works, or their teaching in their kids, and our kids. It's
yeah.
really about respect one another and love each other. That's what the
You know
Samoan
what?
culture is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it couldn't be any more simpler than that. When we look at different cultures and things like that, what a beautiful legacy to leave behind is that respect, the respect and love.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that. Respect one another. We're all different. We all have different thoughts, feelings, and things like that. But if you love one another, that is a
Yes.
legacy. I tell you, that is the most beautiful thing I've heard today, about leaving that legacy of love and being able to
Yeah.
hand that down to generations. Because in today's society, and Samoa may not be connected fully with other cultures around you, because you're an island stuck out in the middle of the Pacific somewhere, away from a
Yes.
lot of that. So a lot of your children, if they don't leave the island, will certainly
Mm.
grow up and pass that legacy on for many generations to come. So tell me a little
Yes.
bit about what is some, like, what does Samoa sort of do? You have resources there? How do people work? What do you have there?
Yeah.
And is it more than just touristy type things? So
Yeah, thank you for the question. That's a very good question, because I believe that we have a completely different, um, sort of like a system than most countries of the world, because we have our customary land. It was way back then when we were colonized by certain country, as somewhat some way they were able to create laws where the natives should have their customary land. So, I believe we became independent in 1962, and so there was a constitution was written in 1960, and so it's that the constitution is really saying about Samoan people, they have their customary land, and that is something that we really blessed, that we have our own customary land, so we don't have to pay rents, mortgage, like
yeah,
this everywhere now. And so
yeah,
I think, because of we have these lands, we can continue to grow, to develop these lands for
mhm,
our own benefits,
mm,
and because that's our assets.
mm,
We have our imports and export. We have coconuts, we have cocoa, we have all sort of these type of fruits that is sent overseas, so we can make
yeah,
some to make some. Now, with this new government, I mean, the government wanted to make it tourist, which is also okay. But I think with my thinking at this point is we have to focus a little bit of our lands. If we
mm,
can develop our lands, we don't have to go to migrate to any somewhere else. We can create it. We can develop the lands. We can put all this, and then we can make factory and sell the taro, sell the
yeah,
coconut, and then we can have some. But the problem that we have is that we don't have the tools, and that's something that I am looking forward to try to find a way to create
yeah,
tools so we can improve our agriculture. And but we have
okay.
the ocean. There's so many fishes, and then we have
Oh,
the lands that we can grow. I mean, it's easy to develop. We just need the
yeah,
tools. That's
yeah.
that's
And
what
I think
that's
when, sorry, Wenny, I think in one way that can be a good thing and a bad thing, because, you have such a pristine island, but the thing is, it's probably, moving forward, you want to bring those types of things to your island so that people have, that income, people have the ability to be able to bring about a little bit of change for the young ones coming up. It's a stability, I suppose, and a security in knowing that you can continue on. I think, Papua New Guinea, I think in a sense is a bit the same. I think they own their land,
yeah,
but
exactly.
again, they're ruled by corruption in a sense by keeping them,
Yes,
living in the jungle, not providing the roads, not providing airports,
yes,
not providing the quality hospitals, schools, that sort of thing for those who live out of the main cities. So I believe that in one way it could be a good thing, because I can
yeah,
understand where you're coming from. On the other hand, it's like, isn't it amazing that it's still just pristine and beautiful and everything that it to have been
yeah.
and will be. So there certainly is some good, and I don't say bad in a negative. It's just that
No,
sometimes we go forward with certain things in our life, and then we look back and think, oh, I wish it had been that other way. Now I know that
yeah,
you're an on Pacifian, and we have people asking about that. On my show
mm,
here on Who, What, Where, I just want to let people know that we do like to get to know our guest speakers first, and then we go over to On Passive. So if you're here listening, please, put some chats in. Please leave some messages. If there's anything you'd like to ask Wenny, certainly put those in the chat as well. For those who are coming in on other channels, please, put your answers and we'll get back to you a little bit later, your questions, sorry. But yeah, I just want to know a little bit more about your family life. So you have a wife, Florence, and a son that you said
Yes.
lives with you. Do you have any other children? I know you come from a big family, lots of boys. We had one boy and
Yeah.
six girls, so dad didn't have a hope, especially because they were dairy farmers. But, is there
Yeah.
something, that you can share about your wife, when you met, married, children and stuff like that, or any grandchildren? I'd love to hear about that first. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Uh, well, uh, my wife is Florence. She's from another part of the other village. It's called Falevao. Um, yeah, we met. I came from the United States in 2017, and I think we met in 2018. Um, and then somehow we just hit it up, and then we got it from there, and we got this kid. Man, this kid is my whole life, man, and
Mm,
he is a part of me. He's doing as you know, Narelle. I am a disabled. I am missing a left limb, um, and so when I came here with four prosthetic to able to walk, now here in Samoa, because we don't really have the expertise, to
mm,
develop those, those aids or get those aids. So
mm,
it's a tough situation. So I'm using crutches, and then this kid is the one that's he's my right hand man. He's my leg, and
yeah,
is
yeah,
10 years old, and he's willing to do anything for me, and then I'm trying to show him the way to learn how to
yeah,
cultivate the lands, and
yeah,
he's still going to school. He's in the fifth grade right now.
yeah,
It's going to be sixth grade next year. I have an oldest son. He's in America, in California, and he has five kids. Uh, and then yeah, those I have five grandkids. He's married to an American girl, and yeah, so he go once in a while, but that was my from my first marriage, within
yeah,
the states. Uh, but yeah, in my during my very early years, I was very close to the church.
mm,
Follow my mom's footstep, which is she is Christianity to the core, and and that's how we got involved in a lot from Sunday school to, man. It's almost every day there's church. During my growing up, and yeah, and then we did very good at the Methodist Church here in the village called Sinamonga, and man, we did so much stuff, and we would travel, because of what we're doing. We through our choirs, for our singing, we taking the word of God. Man, it's so beautiful. We meet other villages, and then we go to island from islands. We even got to New Zealand, and take this the word of God, through our our singing and our we were skits from the Bible, and that's how I
yeah,
went made it to America in the first place. And from that thing, I can never, man. It's a very joyful moment just to here to enjoy the church
mm,
and what it means to us, the Samoan people. So we always try to get that spirituality in our life, no matter what. And that's
absolutely.
another legacy our mother uh, um, left us, and just we continue to to do that, worship and give
Yeah,
blessing to
that's
God.
really good. Yeah.
Yes.
And praise the Lord. Honestly, I think there should be more people out there listening to your words, listening to your heart as you share. Because as you can see, when he's coming in and speaking from his heart today and talking about his culture, his legacy, his mum and what she passed down to her children. I grew up in a very Christian family. I stepped away from the church when I was in my early 20s, just because
Mhm.
you're learning different things, and sometimes it's
Yes.
not necessarily where you need to go or where God wants you to be. So I have a very strong faith in believing in God the Father and in His Son Jesus Christ, and I do believe that fully. And I try to live like you have said, from a place of love. And as I've got older, because we are the same age, you and I, as I've got
Yeah.
older, I believe that, we go through certain things in our life. We go through ups and downs in our lives. And how are we going to cope with that? The world today is going to, or sorry, the world today is leaning more away from God, away from those beliefs, those trusts, those respects, and things like that. And it needs people like yourself, your wife, your community, and all of those, but including myself, to be able to step up and say, this is not how it's meant to be. There is so
Yes.
much temptation in the world with lots of stuff. That's why when you speak so beautifully about Samoa, it sounds so crystal beautiful, with a great deal of love. And I would love to come and visit you there one day,
Yes.
just because of that. Because I think if anybody can be amongst a community that shows nothing more than respect and love, who wants for anything more than that? In our world today, there is so much violence, there's so much underhandedness, greedy, power hungry, all of that sort of thing. And I think we all need to take a look in the mirror and say, how am I contributing not only to my family, my community, but the global community, family? Now, I am going to take you over to On Passive because I know that I want to hear, and I know our listeners want to hear, how did On Passive find you? And, what sort of made you think about what's that choice that you made to actually come into On Passive? I'd love to hear that story. Thanks, Winnie.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. I didn't really think much of it until my sister, probably Anna, and she called me one day, and I thought I was happy. I thought she's gonna send me some money so I can take care of some of the responsibility of. And then she go, "I want to tell you
Yeah.
something about passive." I say, "Sister, you already got me one time, so this is it." I say, "No, no, no, no. I want you to just listen. We're gonna have this webinar, and then." I say, okay, okay. For that case, I want to listen. And there was a Samoan weaponer. That was everybody was there. So and I was on it, and I was shocked. I think Chris Johnson's was there, and everybody was there. And I was just listening. I'm one of those kind of guy like, oh man, you got me one, you're not gonna get me twice. And so yeah, and I was just listening, and then you see, Narelle, I when I came to 2017, there was something that I brought a program here in Samoa. It's called AVP, Alternative Violence Project, which is violence awareness. Yeah,
Right.
so and that program, I became a facilitator in that program in America. So I came in 2017. In 2019, 18, we have a first that program AVP here in Samoa. And the same
Right.
year, 2018, I was also involved in a bunch of activists fighting to make sure our customary land has. And it was so happened to 2018. The same thing. Mr. Asmu Farah was working on this deal here. And and then when this webinar was going through, and in my head it was going through like, wow, this one, I didn't want to be a part of this activity in Samoa, but I have to because it's a future for my kids. for my grandkids.
mm,
So if I don't react it over there, the kids gonna say, "And what the hell that guy did? You know, I mean, did he do anything about it?" So and then when I'm passive came, and that's where I was listening, man. It is a movement. It's exactly the same thing that we're doing here. And I say, and that's what got me interested. You know, I know everybody is talking about it's a movements, but I've been in a lot of movements before. And this one,
yeah,
you know, I mean, this even, and that's why when everything kind of shut away, I realized because in the movement that I'm working over here, they try to change this law to remove this law that can affect our customary land, but somehow
mm,
everybody starts sharing money, putting money out there. So even lawyers, because somehow they benefit from this what you call corruption thing.
yeah,
So I feel so yeah, now Mr. Ash with these things, you know, our CEO, because it's the same thing that's happening here. Is happening because everybody is trying to because it's a movement. Remember, this
yeah,
is a movement, and nobody in the world has how many billionaires never that anybody think about humanity? Nah.
yeah,
So this is one guy, and then I say, well, and then I say my sister, I say, I'm in, only for that because I know, say, only the courageous person, the courage to be involved in this kind of moments. He
mm,
is the person. That's why I follow that guy. That's why I'm an ambassador because I believe, totally believe, it is a movement. He's trying to make change for the positive to impact in people's life, to impact in my life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's as much as I want this one here for our customary land, but with this, what Mr. Ash is doing is huge. And we talk
yeah,
about global. Yeah, yeah. This thing I'm working out is only New Zealand, Australian, Samoan people, the activists that we did. But with this one, oh man, and that's why I can continue to support and pray that Mr. Ash continue to have a life of his family to get a health
yeah,
for himself and his family, and everybody's involved, especially and the team as well, because
yeah,
I know this is a change. What you call a change maker. This is going to change the whole world. This is a
yeah,
moment. This is a
absolutely.
huge moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to share, and that's really beautiful, Winnie. You know, your passion is really sort of shining out there. And I think we're all a bit like that. We all come out like you're the diamond within, showing
And
yourself today like a bright light. You know, you're a bright light for not only your culture and your family and your community, but also carrying that beacon of light from passive. And I think that is hugely commendable that you saw that, you listened. And once you hear Ash Mafara or you hear those other leaders like Chris and Marty and things like that, you start to see that there is a lot of people in the world who have that beautiful heart, who have the want to be able to help communities that are less fortunate than ourselves. And one of the things I know, you know, coming into it is Ash used to work in a lot of those big companies, you know, producing IT, you know, AI, different tools that were available to uplift companies. He saw that there was corruption there. He saw that people were just wanting to make, you know, money, 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 money. And it didn't
money.
go down or filter down to
Yeah.
people like yourself and I, who just get
Yes.
along in life. And, you know, he wanted to change that. Now, where he started on passive and where we are today is completely different in a sense, but his heart hasn't changed. And I think that,
Yes.
you know, the way that we came into it with our own mindsets of how we wanted on passive to work for us has also changed. We've changed. We've become more loving. We've become more caring. We've become about, you know, helping others, supporting, lifting up other people. And this is what is really important. You know, I put my platform together to be able to bring out Australians, New Zealanders, and those surrounding islands so that you have a voice, you have a platform to call, hey, this is me. I can come on here and I can talk about who I am and my love for On Passive. So I really treasure that. being able to have a platform here. Now, you spoke a little
Yeah.
bit about violence and things like that. So I'm just going to let you take a little breath because I come from a life of domestic violence, sexual, physical, and mental abuse. I'm going to duck over to my website because I like people to know that I am an author. I'm a published author, and I have written my book called Blonde Roots. Forgive me, I just clicked the wrong button. Um,
Mm,
but I have written my book called Blonde Roots, and I wrote it back in 2012. It is very prevalent today because domestic violence hasn't gone away. In a lot of ways, it has increased. So, my book is called
mm,
Blonde Roots. It's a story about my life coming through and triumphing over sexual, physical, and mental abuse. It is something that we need spokespeople, we need those who stand up for those people who don't have a voice, even in this area. So I'm just going to pop over to my blog. I do write little blogs. Sometimes they're inspirational. I do a little bit about on passive. I enjoy colors. I just love sharing from my heart
mm.
and hope that it touches somebody else. So once in a while, great things happen, and I believe that is on passive. We can't always choose the music life plays for us, but we
Yes.
can choose how we dance to it. Okay,
Yes.
so we have a
Yes.
choice every day when we get up. It isn't where you came from, it's where you're going that counts. These are all just on my website, narellewarcon.com. So thank you for that. If you do want to purchase my book, it's not necessarily about the sales, it's about me bringing hope to those women and men who are living in domestic violence or have just come out or have come out. I think when we share our stories from a real and raw perspective, it allows another to know that there is hope. So, again, you can contact me. You can get it as a downloadable on Amazon if you'd like to do that. So, I'll just come back to us here. So, yeah, reach out. Certainly have a look if you know somebody going through domestic violence on any of those different levels. Please reach out or purchase a book for them so that they can read my story again to bring hope for others. That's the main reason why I share that. Is because with everything, and again, I will take it back to passive in a minute, but in everyday life, we all struggle. We have that choice to get up every day. We have a choice to be happy. We have a choice to say, this is a crappy day. And sometimes that is okay too. So I'm not coming from a place of being perfect. I'm not a fake person. I'm very raw and real. My book is very raw and real. And I come to you on this platform as me, Narelle Warcon. I don't have to pretend to be anybody. I did a lot of work on myself in being able to love myself more. And in doing that, I also grew closer to the Lord. I have always had that Christian upbringing, but I think we fall off the tracks a little bit. And
Yes.
sometimes, we fall off and it's okay. God's there anyway. When you look back on your life, one of the things I think you realize as you get a bit older is he was there all the time anyway. Uh, you just
Yeah.
didn't realize it. So thank you for
Yes.
letting me go over to that, Wenny. I really appreciate that. I just wanted to bring it up because I knew that you were advocating for, in your culture or through that violence and stuff like that. Now, PNG, I know, suffer quite at the hands of domestic violence, and I sent them a couple of books a couple of years ago to be able to again bring hope to others. Now, just in saying that, before we go back to on passive, we talk about bringing hope for others. Hope for humanity. So, is there something that really stands out for you? I know you want to help your community, the Samoans and things like that. But is there something within you that you would like to do just for you first? They say fill our pockets. I don't believe in just filling my own first. I believe in helping everybody. But is there something, that you just want to do for Wenny, that you've wanted to do forever, you know?
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. We always want to take care of ourselves first. Yeah. Me personally, myself, I want to have a good prosthetic so I can
Yeah.
walk, I can start doing exercise and like I normally do. Um, just for um, um, just a little notes for yourself. I lost my leg when I was in the United States. From the gunshots. So maybe, but that's another story. But maybe
Mm,
that's with passive. Get everything together, and that's what I want to take care of myself with a prosthetic, so I can able to do more work of my AVP. AVP is
mm,
Alternative Violent Projects. It's an international program. It's globally. It started from the United States, and if you started here, you can go anywhere else with AVP at, and then they continue the program. It
mm,
really helps. I think that's a program impacted my life. It changed me completely. Right
mm,
now, we're targeting teachers in elementary or primary school teachers because their job is very tough with the little ones. So
yes.
we are going around the island. So I'm facilitating several teachers from the district to district to district,
Mm,
tackle those first. We have done some community, and the only it slowed us down because we need more sponsorship to help us, giving the
mm,
program to, because if maybe it's a different island, we need money to go over there, for the fuel and everything to continue the program. So those are the things I really want to do for the people. It just continue to
yeah.
be awareness. There are other ways to communicate, because there's a lot of theme that we can use, an activity that this program bring it to change your. But it's the thing is you already have. We just bring
Mm,
it to you to remind us.
mm,
No, you have that love in you, because the
mm,
philosophy of this program is that there's always something good about that person. We look for that good in a person, and then we'll try to
mm,
bring that good. No matter what, how bad the person can be, how corrupted the person, there's always a good in that person. So, and that's why I'm hoping, if everything help with the passive, when that time comes, I really want to
mm,
reach out as much as I can to the people to make that awareness. And also, like I said earlier, I would really like to improve our agriculture, so we can have more asset here, instead of everybody go to work in Australia, go to assistant
yeah.
worker, go to man, what I mean. But if we have the tools like you guys have over there, what I mean, to do all the picking the apples or whatever they do, that make it easier for them, and with a good salary. We can do the same thing here, so that way you can sell it, and then you make something. That's
Yeah.
my pray, and I know Ash Mufar is gonna help us here in the island. But this is beautiful. If we get
Absolutely.
that, man, we got it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of it boils down to spoke about people, even though some of them, part of them, and sometimes a big part of them is not necessarily good. Okay, the thing is that I've learnt in my life is that you are good inside. You are made from love, right? But
Yes.
a lot of people get hit on, kicked on, pushed down, rubbished, bullied so many times that they start believing that they're not good enough. They start to believe that there's nothing good about them. So having that available to them to bring that good out, that's all people want. People just want to know that they're heard and that they're actually worthy of something. I always tell people,
Yes.
you are worthy, you
Yes.
are beautiful,
Yes.
you are enough.
Yes.
There's so many things that about you. You are so unique. There's just so
Yes.
many things about people that they don't see because of the rubbish other people have put on them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the diamond within brings that out in a sense. And having this platform, I'd love to hear more about that
Mm,
AVP, and maybe we
yeah.
can work together somehow down the track to be able to bring that, more to life, because it's definitely needed. I've been searching for something or someone that I can help, by sharing my story and making it available, but also being
Yeah.
there as a support system as well. So I really appreciate that. I really think that people need to start looking for those and spending time with those people who uplift them, those people who
Yeah.
see the good in them, those people who want to love them
Yes.
for who they are. And you will find a lot of people will change because they have that great qualities around them. You know,
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
stuck in the mud. If you're feeling down, honestly, reach out to Wenny. All right, you know, we'll lift you up. However, have a look at those people that you're spending the most time with. I don't believe that there is that much bad in people. I think they are looking
Yeah.
for attention, just like a small child will chuck a tantrum and look for attention. You know, we're all looking for love. We're all looking that somebody loves us, whether it be in relationship or whether it just be in friendship. It's really connecting to your heart. And it does take some time. So don't expect it to happen overnight. But if you work on it daily, it's certainly going to
Yeah.
change who you are and what you can bring forward to help others as well. Your story is important because right now somebody's listening that you touch their life, not me. Okay, I've told my story. People know where I come from, and I will relate it to that on occasions when we're talking, because I think people need to know that they're listening to people who are real, listening to people who have been through life. We're not just old wannabes. At 63, I still class myself as young. I look forward to the day when I see you with those new prosthetics
Prosthetic.
or prosthetic. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister. You know, so
Yeah.
that you can do the things that you want to do because there's so much life left in you and so many people that you want to help. Wendy, well, I'm just going to give you another break. I'm going to go over to our chat because we've had some lovely people attending today and coming in from all over the place. So I'm going to, excuse me, scroll back up here and I'm just going to say hello to a couple of people. Shirazi, I think that might be you, Yoni. Also, we've had um, Gory, Gary, Taryn, thank you so much for coming in. Forgive me for those names. Raja, thank you so much. It's been lovely to see you. Please pop over and like, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. If you, you know, want to sing out to me, just do it in Messenger. I don't have any room left to be taking any more friends on my Facebook, but I do have the group OP Australia and NZ Oceanic Ambassadors. Look for them over on Facebook, and would love to see you over there supporting us here in Australia, New Zealand, and the surrounding islands, and tonight coming in from Samoa. Bimal, thank you so much for joining us. It really is lovely that you have connected here and be able to support our people that we're bringing on, shining the light, you know, finding that diamond within. Winnie,
Mm.
just going to come back to you because we're almost up for time, and just give you a minute or two just to share some last minute words with our audience. So over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, like I say, I thank you very much for this great opportunity. Because all the Pacific Islands, they are went through a lot over the centuries, over the years, and for this recently, I noticed they are coming together. Especially our brother from sisters, Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, and man, everywhere, Tuvalu, Nauru, man, we're coming together, and we can embrace this with the ambassador, with that we are with everything we're doing for humanity. Um, and I really thank you for your um, um, I really thank you for your uh, a- active or whatever you're doing to support the ambassador and our family, and yourself. That's what I wanna not to say is that I really appreciate our Pacific Oceanic people come together, and then we love each other, and then we share. Once we're getting ourselves, better and good, and then we share to our other neighbors and then our other family, like what we're trying to do here in Samoa. Like I say, we just had that meeting, the Commonwealth meeting of leaders last week, and it was amazing. I see the king, and they were coming together. They were giving them a chief title. I'm also a chief myself. So, and then they see somebody as that a great person, and giving that, and accepting the title with this kind of honor. It's amazing for me. This is never happened before, but I see the closeness that they were bringing together, and then that's why we need the harmony, and then with all our among our people to help one another and cherish and enjoy life, because once they got a call from there, we go. Everything. We left everything here, but
Yeah.
man, I really appreciate. I like to send my shout out to Daryl Cook, and his family. I pray for that everything is good for you and your family over there in the USA, and then also especially my thanks and my appreciation to our CEO, Mr. Ashmo Farah, and his family. I continue to pray. We continue to pray for you and your family to be have the health, and then have the Almighty um, guide you, and bring our organizations to what I mean, to where we need to be. And also we like to pray for the team. We thank you for your hard work, and then also everyone, Marty and Chris. We thank you for your continued effort to make sure that everybody there. I'm sorry that I cannot be now. This is the first time that there's just really I'm on, and there was nothing go away. I don't know. I think you got a magic. So next time when there's a webinar, I will call for
Yeah.
you, and then we make this thing happen, because now my Wi-Fi is,
Okay.
is on. It's on like crazy. I'm surprised, but
Yeah.
thank you very much for everybody. Yeah, love you.
Hi, thank you so much, Wenny. Hi, Roy Davies. Thank you for popping on there. We really appreciate it. Wenny, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story today, but also to your wife, Florence, Flo, and
Yo,
also your son, Ariota, for
yo,
being that support there for both of you, for all of you. You're all united, you're all supporting one another. Our prayers definitely go out to, Mr. Ash, his family.
yeah,
It has been a long, hard slog to the tech team that is now supporting him above and beyond, and also looking at supporting his vision, which has always been to be able to bring hope for humanity and help those people like ourselves that have never been able to make money online because there's a few
yeah,
too many crooks out there. Now, remember
yeah,
that some of those products that are available through those companies are actually quite good. But yeah, we have a different platform. We are not MLM, and we are here to bring that change to the world. You can contact Winnie or myself. Our back office is just back up, and I'll just run over that quickly. For those who are in here from On Passive, please be patient. The tech team is working on the back end. One day you can log in, and an hour later you may not be able to, but that is fantastic. Take it as a positive, not a negative. We are here, and we are answering questions all the time from people because they haven't plugged in, they haven't been aware, they went to sleep for a little while, and that's okay. It's okay, but it's now time to plug back in and be aware of your surroundings within your business of On Passive. A big shout out to Muddy and Chris for sharing what they have lately, and being so inspiring. It's very thought provoking to think of some of those things, to take our thoughts away from ourselves sometimes and think about those who are struggling in our world. Chris shared the other night about countries, who are only earning $100, $500, less than $1,000 a year. If you did that in Australia, nobody would cope with that. But there's people out there
mm,
living day to day that need food, that need water. So remember to keep them in your prayers as well. Also for Red Redfern, because Red is very straight up there. He likes to bring us the facts as they come to hand. I love that about Red
yeah,
Redfern, and I do
yes.
support both of those, even though very late at night for me. Um,
Mm.
excuse me. Like I said, I want to thank you again, Winnie. We're going to finish
Thank
up
you.
now. I want to
Yeah,
appreciate each and every one of you who have come on today and supported. Winnie, the link will be available shortly, and I'll send that to you so you can share it out. I do want to do one more shout out, and that's for Anna Samu. That is Winnie's sister. Anna is my
yeah,
friend on Facebook, and I tell you what, she shares the most beautiful. Um, just the most beautiful Facebook posts that uplift my day, because we all need to be uplifted, whether you think we're, oh, Narelle can speak, but I still need to be uplifted every day as well. So
thank you.
to Anna, thank you so much for everything that you do to bring about a beautiful um, just a beautiful area, I suppose, of somewhere that we can go to be inspired by you. I know that you would say everything comes from God, and as it does, it certainly does. We are all
Yeah,
blessed. Make sure that you are grateful each day for everything that you do have. Um, my saying is, if you can't be grateful for what you do have, what makes you think you'll be grateful when you get more? So just be grateful every
thank
day for what you do have.
you.
Winnie, it's
Amen.
been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad that the internet worked well, and that
Yes,
we're going to be seeing more of you, and we'll certainly
thank you.
be in contact again soon.
Yeah,
Blessings and love to your wife and to your son, and all of those over in Samoa. You just be that bright, shining diamond for them, and we'll see you all again next Wednesday for our Who, What, Where Wednesday, and I'll let you know closer to time who our special guest will be. Thank you once again. God bless you all, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.